I'm going to race in a championship on F122, but after every race the point system is going to change. Yes, this was copied off Untasked Fast Fled. So here we start in Australia for this 5 race championship, and we are starting as Yuki Tsunoda around the Australian Grand Prix as we get off to a terrible start there and we get absolutely overtaken by everyone. But a couple corners later we do lose front wing damage to Fernando Alonso through here. So for this race it's about damage limitation at the moment as we are down in 14th place. Coming into the final lap, and it's about maybe we can try chase down Daniel Ricciardo, the home favourite today, and we do have a long run on him on the straight around Australia as we're using the ERS. We've got a bit of slipstream. He goes to the left to defend, we go to the right to try make a move for this left right chicane. Can we hang it round the outside? And we managed to make a marvellous move through there, but we can see in the rear view mirror Daniel Ricciardo is coming back at us down into this heavy braking right hander around Australia, and does manage to outbrake us here. And we do go a bit wide on the curb, but we do manage to make the move stick around Australia, and we do finish in a solid 13th place for our first race. So hopefully we get into some solid point system for this. Hopefully we can get points for finishing in 13th place. But as we spin the wheel for the first time, it will be the MotoGP point system for the first results, which means we do actually get points in 13th place. Carlos Sainz wins it, Max gets second, and George gets third, which means the championship is pretty much the same as the first results. But we come for Canada in the second race with Yuki Tsunoda. We start in 15th place. Not a great start for us here, but we try to get off to a better start than Australia, but we do light up the tyres. And yep,
okay, that was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
We go straight into the wall there. We spin up the rear tyres, unfortunately. I think we do get a bit of a hit from one of the Williams behind. And yeah, that is our race pretty much over for Canada. Hopefully the point system can maybe give us some benefits there. As we can see, George wins the Canada Grand Prix, the second race of this championship, and our teammate gets 15th. But as we spin the wheel, it will be unfortunately an F1 point system, meaning it's going to be the same point system. The top 10 will get points. We can see George gets the most amount of points through this race, which means he is leading the championship still with Carlos Sainz second and Perez in third, and we're all the way down in 13th place. Now we come to Silverstone for the third race, starting in a better position in 11th place. Hopefully we can not spin out on the start straight away, but we're just trying to keep it as steady as possible. It's very hard to do starts in this year's game. You've got to go up the gears as much as possible. But we're going through cops here, and I do believe we did get damaged, but we didn't unfortunately show it. So we're going to be struggling through this bit as Magnussen tries to go for a move around Beckett's there, but we're going to try come back with a bit of ERS, pushing to the side, and we do manage to make the move on him. But a lap later, we're on the side of Bottas. Can we make a move through the inside of cops on Bottas? No, we can't. We don't have the guts, a bit like Hamilton did a few years ago and smashed Max off. But yeah, as we see, Magnussen once again goes for the move through Beckett's. It makes a bit of contact with our rear tyre, but I don't think that Haas has the straight line speed as we do with a bit of ERS. But as we come through the final corner on the final lap, we do finish home in 13th place once again. We don't manage to get into the top 10 as Charles wins the race, Sainz gets second, and Perez gets third, and our teammates get 16th. So another 13th place. Hopefully we can have a beneficial point system as we get the MotoGP point system once again, which means we'll get the same points as we did in Australia, a good 3 points there. But Charles gets the most amount with 25, and Carlos Sainz actually leads the way ahead of George Russell and Charles Leclerc, all separated by a point each. So it's very close going into these next couple of races as we start in Australia, Mexico for the 4th race here, as we get, yep, once again just overtaken on the start. But we're going to try and go around all the AI through these first couple of corners because they are Constantina up through these first couple of corners. But we do manage to make up a few positions there as we are now side by side with our teammate. We're going to try not to make contact with him there, give him the room, and we do make the move on him. And as we are trying to make a move on Bottas around the outside here, and we do manage to make it stick, a lovely move by us there, and we're up into P10 there, just behind Daniel Ricciardo once again. But as we sim a lap later, coming down the main straight around Mexico, we're trying to make a move on Schumacher for 7th place. He goes defensively, outbreaks, is going through these first corners. We're going to try line him up for a move on the other straight through here. Going to use a bit of ERS, a bit of slipstream on the back of Schumacher. He's going to defend to the inside there. We're going to go to the right hand side and maybe make a move round the outside the opposite move we did on Gasly a lap earlier, and we do manage to make the move stick as we push him out through the right-hander there. But coming through the last corner here on the final lap, it looks like we are going to finish in a solid 6th place for our 4th race in this championship. So hopefully this point system can benefit us there, as Max gets the win and our teammate finishes all the way down in 13th place. So hopefully we can get a good point system for the 4th race, and we get race number equals points. Now this means whatever race number you have is the amount of points you get. So we get 22 points, George Russell gets 63, and Valtteri Bottas gets the most with 77 points. So this means Russell still leads the championship ahead of Sainz and Leclerc, but Bottas makes it up to 4th, and we're into 11th place now. So it doesn't seem too dissimilar to the real life championship with Russell at the top, but we see Bottas has made his way up there as well as Schumacher, and we've made up a couple of positions. So hopefully in this final race we can have maybe some negative points, and we can maybe make it up the championship in a beneficial way. But we'll see who wins the championship. Maybe Bottas can win the championship going into this final race. As we get off to an okay start here, we'll lose 1 position on the start as we start quite high up, and we get contact from Zhou Guanyu there going through the corners, and he has damaged our side pods unfortunately here. As we look at the replay, and he doesn't seem to go for a move, but I think it's Gasly on the inside of Zhou who pretty much scares him, and then he goes into the side of us. So thank you Gasly once again for causing us a mistake. But there we can see Magnussen goes for the move on Gasly. They make a bit of contact. Sorry, it's Schumacher, not Magnussen. But we're going down the main straight here. We're basically 3 wide. We're very close to each other. We're going to try our braking, but we don't manage to make it stick there. Schumacher outbrakes us all. We can see Gasly and Schumacher fighting each other, and we're going to try and get the run on both of them here. And we've managed to make that move work out and get the run on both of them through that straight. But we can see Gasly is on the back of us in the rear view mirror, and he makes contact with our car, spins us round, and he basically takes himself out with that stupid move he did. I don't know what he was thinking through that corner. As we can see here on the replay, he taps our rear tyre, then just goes straight into the side of us and breaks his front wheel, which is pretty much karma at the end of the day. But we do have more side pod damage, so it's about damage limitations once again in this final race. Hopefully we can maybe make it into the top 10 or top 5 in the championship. As we try and make a move on Magnussen there, we do scare him out in his rearview mirror, but we're making a move straight away on Daniel Ricciardo on this second lap down the main straight. We're going to try lining up for a switchback move here. We're going to go around the outside actually, and it's an easy enough move on Daniel Ricciardo there. We're going to use a bit of ERS to pull away from the Australian, but as we come on to the final lap, we do have DRS as well as ERS on Schumacher. Hopefully we're going to try make up a position here, but we're not going to know what the point system is going to be. So I don't know if it will be beneficial or not to get this 9th position. But as we can see, coming through the final corner, we don't manage to make the 10th 9th position move stick. And we unfortunately, maybe fortunately, finish in 10th position as George Russell wins a race once again. Leclerc gets 2nd and Max gets 3rd, and our teammate obviously finishes in last place there. But the final point system we are going to get is the top 10 reverse F1 point system. So that actually means we get the most points for that race with 25, and the top guys get 1st, 2nd and 4 points, I should say. So we actually get the most points for once, but we'll see where that puts us. That means George finishes the championship in 1st, and we finish all the way down in 9th position.